How to get to the money. How to get to the money in 2024 and beyond. If you are new here, thank you all for listening. My name is Athena Gardner. I am the founder of Wewealth Women, where we help you to become the wealthy goddess that you deserve to be because we believe every woman should be wealthy. Amen. Amen. In today's episode, we are going to be discussing how to get to the money. Now, I know this is highly requested because your girl was on a little break, okay? But I am back coming with the knowledge and information that you guys need to focus to become wealthy goddesses, the wealthy women that you aspire to be. Now, how to get to the money in 2024 and beyond. Um, I would first say you have to adopt a put yourself first mindset. And that is very important because as women, we have been indoctrinated to basically put our wants and needs on the back burner so everybody around us can thrive. Now, I would have to question my relationships or the quality of my relationships, and I will get to that later, but I would have to question the quality of my relationships if, in order for the people around me to do well, I have to constantly be putting myself on the back burner. That is something we need to address, but we have been shamed and have been indoctrinated into thinking that our worth and our value is basically that of service to someone or something. And what happens is that we put our dreams, our desires, our goals to the back burner or set aside. And eventually you get old enough and realize, you know what? Those sacrifices that I made may not even be fully appreciated by the people I made the sacrifices for, which is one thing, but also I have nothing to show for them. When your sacrifice has to mean something. I will say that again. Your sacrifice has to mean something. You can't just be sacrificing out here willy-nilly. So oftentimes we are finding ourselves, it's hard for us to start the business. It's hard for us to take ownership of the things that will actually bring us longevity and money because we're not even used to having to put ourselves first. We're not even used to having a put yourself first mindset to say that I am not going to even tolerate what is not beneficial for me. And when you look at your goals, at your dreams, at your aspirations, and if you are on this channel, you are a woman who has desires for wealth, has desire to live life on her terms, to be able to afford the vacation, to afford to live in the zip code you want to live in, to afford um, premium experiences that enhance your life. And I did not make the rules. I did not design Earth. I did not design how things are set up. For a lot of those things, the barrier to entry is money. And when we talk about money and our need for it, you're often shamed into not desiring it. You're often, oh, you're a gold digger. Oh, you're selfish. Oh, you're this and that. But how can I be shamed for wanting something that is a need? For wanting something that is a need. And oftentimes you are shamed into not aspiring to get the money and for you to hope now that your partner will be able to do it for you or your family will be able to do it for you, right? But hope is a double-edged sword. And we often use hope to our detriment, meaning that you're leaving the outcome that you want. You're basically gambling on the outcome that you want. It's better for you to plan, right? We're indoctrinated that in order to be a good woman, you should accept less. You should accept being put on the back burner. You should accept crumbs. How dare you require more? How dare you have aspirations for more? And because we want to be good women, which is basically don't complain, be okay being a servant, be okay serving everybody but you it attacks your self-esteem, it attacks your worthiness, it attacks what you need to do in order to get to the money. You need to be fearless or feel fair and push through anyway, right? You need to understand that nobody's going to have your back better than you. You need to almost embrace being a bitch, to be honest with you, right? And as much as people complain about bitches, as much people complain about that, they tend to be the woman who get what they want. Okay? So the first thing you need to do is put yourself first. You are numero uno in your life. The next thing you need to do as a woman now, beneficial relationships only. Beneficial relationships only. What do I mean by that? From your family, from your friends, from your partner, from your coworkers, every single person in your life needs to benefit you in some way. And that doesn't necessarily always mean financially, but that helps. That helps. But it means that they need to be added to the joy, they need to be added to the peace. They need to add to your mental, emotional, spiritual environment in a positive way. Why? Because when you're going to get to the money, which is focusing on generating income through business, enterprise, whatever your career is, however you want to go about it, what is suitable for you, you're going to need to put a lot of energy into that. A lot of energy into the goals that are going to help you get to the money. So you don't have energy to spare on nonsense and shenanigans, right? I prefer the word nonsense. I use the word nonsense. You do not have energy to put into nonsense. And what happens is when you're not around people that are beneficial, guess what? They're dead weight. They're adding to nonsense. They're draining your energy. Now, oftentimes we keep people around just because of the length of time, just because they have this title of a family member, or, we have been friends since sixth grade and all these other things. I challenge you to look at things differently. Everybody is not meant to go where you want to go. Some people are only supposed to be at X part of the journey, right? If you have aspirations to live a life of a wealthy goddess, to create your most best life, your most best self, you have to be around people who support that mission. One of my favorite movies back in the days was Drumline, with Nick Cannon. I love Drumline. Guess what? That one little thing they always said as a band, one band, one sound. And that is how you need to look at your relationships, right? Every person in your life is adding to that sound. One band, one sound. You are on a mission to elevate yourself as a woman. You are on a mission to get to the power. to get to the money, to get to the respect, to sit in your goddess energy, to attract the abundance and wealth that you deserve. You cannot have anybody messing up that harmony, messing up that symphony of a life you're trying to create with nonsense. So, to get to the money, the second thing you need to do is have only beneficial relationships, right? And you're going to cultivate these things, beneficial relationships, hopefully networking, meeting people, doing the things that you love to do, finding people of a mindset that supports what you're trying to do now, which is to get to the money. Because oftentimes we are not proactive as women to focus on the things we need to focus on. We often get distracted with what I call nonsense again. The word of today is nonsense. Oftentimes we get distracted with that. And usually is when a life crisis, a bill that falls from the sky, a medical condition, a car repair of thousands of dollars, that we're like, oh my God, where is this? A divorce? A divorce? Some kind of financial crisis that happens. And the whole time you realize you should have been focusing on building up your financial resources, building your wealth. And oftentimes the people who are not beneficial are nowhere able to help you, are not going to be cutting a check. So beneficial relationships only. Now, the next thing you need to do if you want to get to this money is assess your skills, honey. Why is that important? You need to assess your skills because money flows in the direction of value. And you need to assess what you're good at, what you're skillful at, what you like to do, a combination of those things, but most importantly, what people are willing to pay for. Now, this may come through a traditional career, and you need to look at your employer as a source of revenue. Which jobs offer the money that I need to support my goals? How much money do I need to make? And how best to go out and make this money? Is it in a traditional career? Is it in a career that has high paying careers, which I support? Is it me creating a business, which I definitely support? Is it me creating a business that can generate a certain type of revenue? Okay, how much people are willing to pay for something? How do I create a business that provides the value that people want? Who are the target audience? Is it a company? Is it a corporation? Is it people who would want the things that I'm offering? So it is important to assess your skill set so you can assess the things that you are great at that will provide value enough for someone to want to pay for it. And they appreciate the value of the service, of the products, of whatever it is that you're putting out into the world, of your employment, that they give you a certificate of appreciation. That's how much they appreciate. And that certificate of appreciation is called money. Shout out to Laurel for that. I was watching a lecture for her and she said money is a certificate of appreciation, and it stuck with me ever since. The fourth thing you need to do is cut out distractions. Now, I talked about human distractions, which is having only beneficial relationships or only. What other distractions? I find that when we are not solidified in our purpose, when we are not solidified in what we are trying to do, when we are not solidified in what we are trying to accomplish, we will fill up our time with distractions. We'll be scrolling through social media, watching all kind of ratchet TV shows, watching all kind of nonsense on TV, entertaining events, peoples, and things that do not move us forward to our goal. So remember, I said one band, one sound. That also goes for your quote unquote free time. Your quote unquote free time now, which you should have more of because you're cutting out distractions, you're cutting out relationships that are not beneficial, are going to be taken up with you doing activities that move you forward the money, which will be, if you're in a career, will be what skill sets do I need to brush up on or develop in order to command a higher salary? How to negotiate your current job so you can get a pay increase? How do I manage the money that I do have so that my dollars are working efficiently? How do I create a business or the activities of putting a business forward so I can receive the value that I'm trying to receive? Those are going to be the things that will take up that time now. Because often people are saying, oh, I don't have time to do this or I don't have time to do that, but you have time to be on Instagram. You have time to text your friends who aren't doing anything. You have time to shop till you drop, wasteful shopping because you're bored, not because you really like what you're even buying. So to get to the money, you need to cut out extraneous distractions. And I find that that is very easy to do once you have solidified your purpose and what you're trying to do financially and what you're trying to give out to the world, whether it's your career or whether it is your business that you will be trying to put forth. If you are interested in learning more about how to enhance your career or in your business, feel free to go to our website at wewealthwomen.com. Check that out. Learn more information on the services I provide, how we can help you join our community, and be sure to also sign up for our weekly newsletter called the Wealth Notes. Okay. And I send an email at least a week with information for you to be the best wealthy goddess of your life. That is at go.wewealthwomen.com or notes.wewealthwomen.com. All right. So back to the fifth thing now that you need to do to get to the money. You need a wealth acquisition strategy. A wealth acquisition strategy. And I talk about these different strategies more in detail in our community. If you're interested in our community, you can do join.wewealthwomen.com. And that is where we have our community. But our wealth acquisition strategy is going to be beneficial and helpful for you. Why? Because you need to come up with a plan. You need to come up with a plan to how this money is going to show up in your life, girl. Now, I recently watched one of my favorite movies called Dune, and one of my favorite characters in that movie is the Bene Gesserits. And Reverend Mother was like, we don't hope, we plan. Now, for the girlies who are living on hope, you hope that you will make enough. You hope that your partner will be making enough. You hope that you'll be supported in this way. You hope your family will support you. Hope is very shaky ground because oftentimes we don't do what we need to do because we're hoping it just works out. But if you plan, to be honest with you, if you plan, you rarely need hope. You can sprinkle some hope on the plan, but if you have a good plan, it's hard for things to stop you. Now, a wealth acquisition strategy is going to be personal and unique to you, your financial circumstances, your desires, your goals, all of that. So, I can't really give too much on that. But what I will say is you need to come up with the path of least resistance to accomplish what you are trying to accomplish as you gain wealth. What could that be? Like I said earlier, high paying careers and jobs. What skill sets do I have? How can I acquire skills, or how can I acquire skill sets that will help me get high paying careers? Or what skill sets do I have now? What gifts do I have naturally? What do people seem to value about me, compliment me on the most, and how I can turn that into a business, which I am, even if you have a job, I'm like a big supporter of having a business. How can I turn that into a business that will generate revenue for me, right? With the money that I do make and do have from either this career or businesses, what investments that will generate a rate of return would be sufficient for me? Is it stocks? Is it bonds? Is it mutual funds? Is it ETFs? Is it real estate? Is it tax liens? Is it alternative investments? Is it Bitcoin? Is it crypto? Right? What wealth, how do I creatively manage and utilize my abundance, utilize my money that is also is comfortable for me and my risk tolerance so that my money can compound interest and my money can be working for me, right? Because the other thing that is important about money is, okay, once you have put in the equity, the sweat equity to either make it from your job or career or your business, where does it go next? Because you can't remake that same money again. Yeah, you can make more future money, but that dollar that you already have, where is it going to go? Right? So, focusing on that wealth acquisition strategy. Last but not least, to get to the money, you need to be focusing on building an investment portfolio. And that is going to consist of the things I've said before: your stocks, your bonds, your ETFs, your mutual funds, index funds, your real estate, um, your business, crypto, liens, all of that, land. And I'm going to be teaching on how to do all of this within our community. So if you're interested, like I said, you might want to join our community. We even have our own app. You can download it at the Google Play Store and Apple Store, the Wewealth Women app. And that is for our community members as well. And we have discussion boards. It's really a good place of support. And also, I have resources available for all of you members as well. So consider joining us at join.wewealthwomen.com. But that investment portfolio is going to be everything else that you do leads to that, because that is when you're really having your money work for you and having different passive income, right? You can have a portfolio of dividend stocks that pay you. You can have investment in REITs, right? You can have so many things. And I'm going to be definitely pouring into the women who are interested in learning about these things, who are interested in putting yourself first, who are interested in having beneficial relationships, who are interested in assessing their skills and cutting out distractions so they can acquire the wealth that you deserve. You know, oftentimes we hold ourselves back because we're thinking, our partner's going to help us with this or take charge in. And oftentimes, you know what I realized? I've worked with a lot of men, especially. There's going to be a lot of scenarios where you are going to have to be the one in charge. You're going to have to be the one who leads in that area. Not every man is good at that, right? And we often have thinking that, or even if he is, which is a bonus if he is now, even if he is, you're going to want to know enough so you understand and have some kind of transparency in your relationship. Right? Comment down below if you want me to do a video on money and relationships, because there's a lot of murky waters that you have to navigate when it comes to your relationships and money. There's a lot of women who don't even know like what the money is doing, where the money is coming from, So I think financial transparency, even if you have a partner that is very good at managing the money, you need to have financial transparency and also control in that situation as well. So, all right, ladies, thank you so much for listening to me today. I hope this was a word, how to get to the money, the things that you need to do that are foundational for your success as a woman. Be sure to follow at wewealthwomen.com. I am available on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel, to the podcast. And I will see you in the next video.